Hey, Evan. So,
Hey,
hey, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, sorry, I'm
Nice.
messing
All right.
around with it stuff, making sure I'm in the right input. Okay, cool.
What's up, Ryan?
Howdy.
What's up, everybody? Ryan, did you build Airflow at your company yet?
I haven't done much programming as of late because I'm trying to find an apartment. So unfortunately, but like I have the
It's okay.
I have the link saved somewhere, so I'm gonna reference it soon.
No
Well,
problem.
actually, I need to get SQL access. But oh wow, I don't know if you guys heard that. There's a lot of lightning.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it. I was just hanging out by the window, like just listening to it. It's so relaxing. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever. I feel so at peace.
I need to get SQL access. Yeah, if I make it out alive, then maybe I'll feel the same way.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it. I was just hanging out by the window, like just. Yeah, Ryan. If you're, it's cool to just be observing. You could also click into the Visual Studio live share session if you'd like. We're literally just gonna be kind of we're gonna be doing some pretty simple stuff together, but I think it's really useful, simple stuff. We're gonna set up a load balancer that balances between two websites.
The website or server?
Two servers, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow.
But we can kind of think of it as two websites, the same website being served up on two different containers.
That's a good explanation, sir.
Tom updated his Docker, so we're
Yep.
all good to
We
go.
all good to go. Hey, Ryan, you moving to the neighborhood?
It's a long story, but I thought I was gonna be able to like narrow down like an apartment to apply to, but there are all these like twists and turns, so I don't know. But yeah.
Hey,
It's a
man.
good time to be applying.
Yeah, it's definitely a renter's market. I just like well, for example, one of the apartments I was looking at, I guess I waited too long because I'm trying to like view a bunch of them before making a decision. But I guess the approach that I should be taking is if I see something, just apply for it, as opposed to like evaluating all my options.
Good stuff, man. Moving can be a pain. Actually,
Yeah,
moving
definitely
is a
can.
pain, actually.
I mean, I felt that way when I was looking. I was looking in the winter, so maybe it's similar because it's less congested at that time.
Yeah.
And it felt like the really good places like would just go really fast. So you see something, you have a good feeling. I guess just apply for it.
Wow, it's pretty bad. It's raining a lot. Hey, Evan.
Yeah.
So, just have to click on live share here?
Yeah, you've done it before, right?
No, but usually Matt sends me like a link or something. And
Oh, it's in the link is there in text chat.
oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, my bad.
No worries.
So I have it open, but
Here, like, open the README file.
yeah. So So I see you typing, but I guess I'm only in read-only editor. Is there a way to?
Oh, that's a good point. Let's see. Anonymous and read only.
Wait, let me try something real quick. I guess I need to sign in.
Yeah, I think if you sign in, it might automatically. It doesn't look like I have any power to grant you write privileges. Yeah, it looks like you should have it now. Nice.
You see me yet?
Cool. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Sorry.
I'll go live in a sec also.
If we have like a few minutes to spare, so I need to get a new computer, and I was just wondering if you guys had any recommendations.
Get a Mac!
Okay. God, some of this lightning or thunder is like really sweaty here. But yeah, I was thinking of getting a Mac. The only thing that kind of worries me is the announcement that they made that they're switching the, I don't know if architecture is the right word.
Yeah, they're doing their own like processor, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the first one to test. I just wanted to wait, see how good it is.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well just grab one fast, or wait for these to be cheaper, or they might become more expensive if people hate Apple's chip and architecture.
Yeah. I was thinking of getting a refurbished one, so I could get like a
Yeah, that's a good deal,
better
man.
hardware for cheaper price.
Yeah, totally. I have the MacBook Air from a year or 2 years ago. I really love it. Like I think it's the 13-inch, 12.5-inch or something. I really love that one. At work, I have the big like MacBook Pro 15-inch.
Yeah.
I think that's like kind of clunky. I'm not as big a fan. The touch bar is really stupid. I really wish it doesn't exist. It's just like it's even just more clunky to lower the volume and shit.
Yeah.
And it actually overheats on me a lot, which is not fun.
Really?
Master Lee,
So
welcome.
I would go with the MacBook Air. Hey Lee. Lee, the live share session is in the text chat, so just join up when you can. Also, if you just want to watch the stream, that's cool too.
No, I'm here to code.
It's curd. Alright. So I guess I'm just going to be sharing my whole screen most of the time, and what I'll basically do is I'll have the article on the left-hand side. Oh, wow.
Oh, that was a thunder?
Yeah, that was
Holy
thunder.
crap.
So I'll have the article here on the left-hand side, and I'll have you guys open here on the right-hand side, and we'll kind of code from there.
Nice.
I definitely, if you have live share installed, definitely recommend just like following somebody. I guess like as we jump around files, it can be hard to keep track. Whatever.
Is live share? Do I need to use like my GitHub account? What the hell is a Microsoft?
Yeah, you need to sign in with your
Shiny.
GitHub account or something.
And then you need to just grab the link and pass over to your Visual Studio.
Yeah,
Okay,
after you install the extension.
Let me share my screen. I can't figure this out.
Alright, go for it.
Products. Where's share screen? How do you share screen?
It's down at the bottom where like the three
Share
green
your-
bars are. Just screen. Screen. Oh my god, I made quesadillas tonight and I'm just so stuffed. I can't freaking move.
Alright, I'm back.
Hey, man.
So I'm in an infinite loop where it says extension is disabled. Would you like to enable it? Enable it open. Extension is disabled. Would you like to restart VS Code?
So I guess, yeah, hit cancel, try to restart it, make sure the extension is installed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, just open Visual Studio first.
Oh shit.
I don't know, it might work now.
No.
Yeah, open Visual Studio, make sure the extension's installed, and we can go from there. Live share.
Oh, this is Ubuntu for me.
Oh yeah, I do that too, but it's just not like always working.
Why did it disappear? This is Ubuntu. I want one on my computer. I might need to give up.
Damn.
I guess it restarted itself because it wanted to do a restart.
Wow. That's a-
Like live share.
Alright. So now you definitely have live share installed.
I'm holding my breath. Am I in?
Go to the live share extension or the and confirm. Yeah. Go down to the actual live share thing.
On the left hand side, all the way down there, yeah. I can't actually see.
Join collaborative session?
So go back and click my link from Discord.
Yeah.
Sign in.
Yeah. You gotta sign in.
There you go.
GitHub.
GitHub.
No.
No.
No. Leah
What-
killing
I
me.
didn't
Click
sign
sign
in
in
with-
with GitHub. Go back.
I did click sign in with GitHub.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No.
I sign
Yeah.
in.
Down.
Click
There you go.
GitHub.
There you
Yes.
Why is it so hard?
go. you gotta copy the
URL.
link.
Why do I need a URL?
No, copy. Yeah,
Now click it again.
that one. Yeah,
Wow, this is hard. Thanks, guys.
and then
Yeah,
pass the
this is
link
pretty
on
nuts.
your.
Oh my god, yes.
Welcome, Lee.
Okay, sorry. You guys can share screen again. Wow, that was so hard. This is why I don't know if any of you asked me why do people give up on lose faith in GitHub because Microsoft bought them. This is why. Visual Studio should work. If
Right.
it wasn't for them trying to push a Microsoft account, it would have worked.
Right. 1 sec, I'm gonna close the window.
Oh my God, he had the window open this whole time.
Yeah, you guys see how bad it's raining outside?
Yeah, it's like cats and dogs.
Yeah, I don't know how running code works in this.
You're running it locally, so we all have access to your bash.
You all have access to my bash? What? No way.
We don't have read and write requests, so we have to request access. Bash is read only.
Oh, interesting. So
And
you
I'll
guys
keep
can
it that
see
way.
it.
Otherwise, I'm gonna rf-rf.
Yeah, what the hell? That's so dangerous. What?
I don't think you can. I think there's like to work with. You want to try
Yeah,
it?
it seems a little wild. No.
Evan, just type in your password real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, Edwin's here.
Edwin.
I will be.
Oh my god.
I won't
So
be
much
doing
quesadilla.
So you'll be doing everything, Evan. I won't be. I'm coding in the background.
Wait, so you're gonna be? Are you live coding with us?
Well, I'll just take a listen, but I'm busy right now.
Oh,
Playing video games.
What are you busy with?
this guy's busy. No, it's
I'm
cool.
busy.
Thanks for joining anyway. We're not gonna give you too hard of a time. Damn, I bought a skateboard and it doesn't arrive till Monday. I'm so upset.
Really? Which one?
I actually got one of these like surf skateboards, and you kind of
Oh.
like surf on it instead of just like straight up skating straight.
You should get an electric one.
No, I need physical activity, man. I
Ah, okay,
can't
alright.
do-
Fair enough.
I can't do more non-physical activity stuff.
Fair enough.
All right.
Can I say something for Evan?
Yeah, sure.
So I actually ended up finding another Discord group that does something similar. It's called the Developers Guild, and I can invite you guys to it. But so like one of the big questions going forward is going to be like, do we want to be doing our own thing, or do we want to like join a group that's like a little bit bigger than us? It's got roughly like 100 people in it. We have 100 people here. We have like 10 active people. It looks like have like 20 or 30 active people. So I can invite you guys to it. And then the question is, do we want to continue with the coding guild as like our own separate thing that we want to grow, or do we want to like eventually just join someone else's thing? So I'm going to be spending some time thinking about it and kind of talk about it in the future.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Do they have like a website and stuff like that already set up? Do they also want to do like I guess branch it further into some kind of teaching apparatus?
They're doing so they have stuff around pair programming, and they have like a bunch of language helps things, but I think it's a little bit overdone in the sense that they just have a bunch of different channels, since a lot of them are even empty. So like at a certain point we had a bunch of channels, and then I didn't think it was really effective, so I deleted a bunch of them. So I don't know. If you guys are interested, just message me. I'll invite you, and then we can kind of follow along with what they're doing and steal some stuff or merge with them.
Can you invite me, Matt?
How do they feel about 10 of us just like randomly joining though?
They posted it on Reddit way back.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's how I found out about it.
Thank you, Matt.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like I'm always wary of like, I don't know, anything posted on the internet. Like I was thinking like, should we post the coding guild on like Reddit? And then I was just like, no, it's probably a bad idea.
Why?
It's just I don't know. I just don't trust anyone online for any to be.
Oh, I see.
I don't know.
Pseudo RM-RM.
Yeah, yeah, someone would probably do that before they actually sat down and learned to code with us. All right, cool. That's some really good food for thought, Matt. So, you mind if I get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So yeah, this isn't that I'm excited too. It's fun to like try to do this pair programming together, whatever. I have recently been looking into system design questions on YouTube as part of like interview processes. It's apparently a big part of them, and I was just kind of like semi-unaware of this. I felt like I was just getting asked like general architecture questions, and I didn't realize how deep these questions really go when asked at like certain tech companies, or what you're expected, the kind of answer you're expected to have. And so this one thing people kept talking about is like this reverse proxy load balancer thing. And I'm just like, I have never set up a load balancer in my life. I have no reason to set up a load balancer. I wonder if it's super hard. And I stumbled across this article where we basically set up a series of Docker containers using Docker Compose. And one of them is running this Nginx, as Tom said it's pronounced.
Nginx. Yeah, you're right.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what it will basically do is use like a round robin algorithm, and basically if you hit the website once, it'll go to our first container, which is up here. And if you hit it a second time, it'll go to the second container that's also hosting our application here. And then the third time, can you guys see my mouse?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you gotta set up on your streaming on Discord.
Oh, I have to show my mouse, but I set my whole screen now. That's weird. Stream quality.
I think you gotta go to your user settings, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
There you go. Yeah, go to streamer. No, which one?
Man, I see the hovering over things, which is funny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's really weird.
What were you trying to do? The app folder and the Nginx folder?
I'm just pointing to. Maybe I can highlight it. Nope, can't.
The
Ping at the top and ping at the bottom.
Okay.
So that's kind of crappy, but we'll figure that out. So I'll be able to highlight everything from here on, so it'll be pretty alright. This guy has a whole introduction. I'll kind of leave most of it up to you guys to read. From past tutorials, Docker Compose uses a YAML file. we know what Flask is. Maybe we'll just quickly read about what Nginx is. Open source HTTP web server and reverse proxy. Can be a simple but powerful load balancer. Improves your server's resource availability and efficiency. Basically, what we're trying to do here is make sure our one Docker container or our one instance of Flask doesn't get overwhelmed by HTTP requests. And so I guess what we're going to do first is inside of our app folder, what we're going to do, he just creates the parent folder here. But what we're really going to do here is create our app.py file. Is anyone feeling savvy and they want to write the first Python? You can pretty much copy it from here if you want. It'd be cool to also see what you can do from memory, or if anyone has anything else they want to add to it off the top of their head, or you can Google it.
Who's jumping in?
Are we supposed to be following along this website so that we can copy paste?
Like, kind of, yeah.
Why
Where's
don't we
the
do
link
our
to the
own?
page? Can you post that?
Oh, I'm streaming it, and it's also, yeah, I'll post it. Good point, Lee.
I wanted
Do you
to
want to start a
copy
virtual end?
but I don't have that link.
Yeah, I'll make a virtual end as well.
Okay. Let's see.
Such an ugly code, my goodness.
Okay, we have code.
You guys already
Why
done?
is this ugly? Isn't this exactly it from Flask import Flask? add
Yeah,
equals
but-
Flask?
Yeah, but let me see. There you go. Thank you, Matt.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know why it copy and pasted that way. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, that was like extremely fast.
So I've done this at work before, and it can go super quickly, and then it can get super chaotic very quickly. Like a
You've
bunch
done
of
this
people just,
at work?
I've done it at work. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Wow, I really need to propose this. Then we can all just like not wait for the PR to like critique every little thing. So
a bunch of people recommend that. There's one of the guys I was talking about last time, Kent Beck. He's saying that pair programming is better than PR review, and it's more efficient with time.
Wow. All right. That's really freaking cool. All right. So we're not even gonna test this. We know that this works. Can one of you get started on the Docker compose file? Or
Sure.
sorry,
Just a
just
Docker
the Docker file,
Docker file?
or we'll go through it together.
Hold
What
on.
did I need to add in the meantime?
Did you delete the end file?
No, I have end folder and file.
Yeah, end folder. So if I add it to the git ignore, it disappears from my.
Oh, that's so weird.
Sorry, it's that. All right, so now it's it. I see it.
Did you guys save this?
Oh, do it again, Matt, please.
Oh, I can activate it locally for me then. That's actually what I need to do. But I can't because I don't have access to this folder.
Oh, so you don't have your own like independent terminal?
Now I have yours. Do you want to give me access to your terminal?
No, I don't want to give you access to it. Like a huge.
Wait, we did this before from my computer. I gave everyone access to my terminal. It's a small group. No one's gonna mess with you.
No, don't. Wait.
Or if you don't want to give us access to your terminal, make an empty Docker file so I can put stuff there.
Oh yeah, you can't even make a Docker file. Okay, gotcha.
No, we can make stuff.
I don't have terminal access. I can't do anything.
All right, there's a Docker file up. In the meantime, I'm gonna pip install Flask.
Holy shoot.
Did you copy it?
Yeah, he did.
Lee.
Now that's good.
No.
Professional.
What do you mean? What did I copy that?
We're gonna be here for like 10 minutes. I don't know. This guy's just copying the
I
word.
read it. At first, I wasn't going to copy it because I was like, wait a minute, why are they running app.py? And then I was like, oh yeah, we have to run the the application.
Can I change
And I
the
copied it.
file
Can you change what?
The files.
from the image in Docker file?
Yeah, why not?
I don't like not specifying 3.
Oh,
Sure.
okay, gotcha.
We could do 3 Alpine if we want.
Oh, what is Alpine
Totally
by any
fine.
chance?
It's just different. So it basically is like how. Oh no. So it's the Linux image that it's built on top of, right? So basically, the way Docker works is it's a bunch of different layers of folder structures, right?
Mhm.
So what we're doing is we're adding a bunch of files when we do the copy thing.
Right?
And so this is built off of the Python 3 Alpine folder structure, and the Python 3 Alpine is going to be built off of the Alpine Linux definition, and it's going to be importing some version of Python,
Oh,
some
I
version
got
of
it.
Python 3. 3 Alpine.
Cool. Does anyone not? Is there anything inside of this Docker file that doesn't make sense to anyone?
You want to build it, and let's make sure it works.
Oh, we're gonna build it anyway, but
Let's do some TDD.
some TDD. What is it? Oh, test-driven development.
Yeah.
Right. Matt, bring up the testing pyramid.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
Make sure it works. Docker build period.
Oh,
Can't run it.
yeah, I gotcha. Do I not have Docker running? What? Sorry, I didn't have Docker started. I didn't realize. I was just helping Tom out with it earlier.
You gotta upgrade too? Oh.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
No, I don't think so. You had a up-to-date version.
Yeah, I was on another laptop.
Oh, okay, alright.
Come on, Docker. Yeah, in the meantime, we're good. Tom, you get everything in this file? Does it make sense?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
I just run to the tutorial right before us to get going online.
All right.
Python 3 Alpine is a real thing. Nice.
Yeah. I'll paste all the Python images in chat.
Oh, copy requirements.txt failed. We don't have a requirements.txt file.
It's in the wrong folder.
Yeah, no, you didn't. Yeah, we didn't do that file.
So
we didn't make the
we
file.
have a requirements.txt file, but
So we,
Just flash. There you go.
since our Docker compose file is in kind of the root directory of our project,
I'm going to move it because it doesn't make sense for the requirements to be not there.
alright.
Right.
Alright,
the,
cool.
the app is going to be our Python app, and then Nginx is going to be our Nginx app.
Alright, cool. Yeah, definitely. So, alright, cool. So we have something. I'll build it again just in case. And so we can move on. It's just kind of setting up Nginx now.
Yeah,
Thanks, whoever added all
that's
these
already.
files.
Oh, I got it now. Okay.
Cool. We successfully built it. Nice. Alright. Shall we move on to Nginx?
Yep.
I'm adding settings.
Are you messing with my settings?
I don't like using spaces. I prefer tabs.
Oh, got you.
Throw that in.
Alright, cool. So I'm gonna hang out in the, I'll be in the configuration.
There
You know, I mean, I feel like the configuration is definitely something we should all have questions about because it's definitely not intuitive.
No, not at all.
Exactly to know
No.
what's going on here. It seems like what happens is basically for like HTTP requests, you know, I don't even really know what upstream app is, but it's kind of just defining every application that we have, every container.
So upstream is like the front end, right? And like downstream you can think of as like the back end. So like the workforces in this case.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Are you speculating or are you sure?
No. I said I think. I'm not certain.
Okay.
I tried to say, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that doesn't sound right to me. Like, it's when you think of a load balancer, you're just thinking of dependencies, and upstream is more of a dependency. So all these apps are dependencies. They're higher level. They're sitting behind load balancer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They're upstream of the load balancer.
I thought upstream meant before.
But that could be the case too.
I don't think it's before, right? Because the load balancer is going to be hit first, and then it's going to forward the request here.
Yeah, just somebody Google it. But like,
is that what makes it a reverse proxy?
I think the reverse proxy part is that you send it a request, it creates a new request to the upstream thing, then the request to the upstream one gets resolved, it comes back here, and then it reverses it back to the person who called it.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it looks like this app is just kind of like almost like a variable name. I don't know if it actually does anything, because basically the syntax is like this from their website. The syntax is like this: upstream name.
Oh yeah, so app is just name.
So app is some name. And
No, that's the folder, right?
No, I don't think it's related.
Does that not have to match like app.5? No.
So what we're gonna see is that Flash Tutorial App 1 and App 2 are generated by Docker. Those basically are the names of the containers. Oh, and actually it doesn't work for us because we need to rename it to, good point, what folder are we in? Nginx CG.
Good point, Evan.
Good
Oh, that's
catch.
cool. Nice.
Oh man, I do that all day, every day. I love that.
What is that? You just command click on both, or what?
Command D after you highlight something, and it'll highlight every instance, or you can choose how many instances.
I think it's shift, no? Shift and like you click whenever you want to.
I just prefer to highlight, and then Command D lets you just like select a bunch of them.
VS Code is Command D. You might be thinking of like different editors have different syntax or different things.
No, it's the same as a Jupyter Notebook, right, Lee? I don't know.
They're different.
Oh, they're
Jupyter
different.
Notebook can hold Alt and like.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
But VS Code doesn't even support that.
just use Vim. I mean, what's the
Let's get out of here.
We can't pair program in Vim. Actually, it probably could.
It'll be so
It's
confusing.
like, Evan's like, no good things happened in programming in the last 20 years. All the best thing systems came out in the 90s.
No, I mean that's true. That's partially true. They still think that
Not at all true.
they think that Lisp is innovative, and Lisp came out like before object-oriented programming. So yeah, I think to be honest, I think most good things have already been invented.
Oh no.
Yeah. A lot of things are reinventing the wheel. And the list has definitely been around.
I definitely do have a coworker who Vims everything, and he definitely seems like a magician sometimes. I don't doubt that Vim has its like it's famous for a reason.
Let's
So-
use
Stack
Nano.
Overflow one. What does upstream mean in Nginx? It's used for proxying requests to other servers. This means all requests / go to any servers listed under upstream XXX with a preference for 8000.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
So I think this app and this app have to line up. So this proxy pass is going to forward it to this upstream. It is literally this definition right here for location means at the index route, which is the / route, proxy pass it to this upstream.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So this is like the route. This is like, so this could be like /index / I don't know, home or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't call it index, but yeah, you like just do it / home.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what that rogue / meant. Thought that was odd. I also find this odd that it's app.com. That kind of doesn't make sense to me.
I think you're just defining what you think your own server name is locally. I think that's literally defining a variable. That,
Yeah, okay. I don't know if this is even... Yeah, okay, like if you were to look at it in like the terminal or something, it would just come up as app.com. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So next is
So next we gotta make a Docker file for this thing. What were you saying, Matt?
I said let's run it, but I think the Docker file is actually necessary to run it.
Yeah, I don't think we can run. Look at how simple that is. It's amazing.
Cool.
Alright, so there's some real complicated logic in here. Okay, cool. So that's kind of good. Damn. Save that. Anyone unclear with anything here? I guess Nginx just has their own image, which is pretty sweet. I'm just going to reference the article for some of the commands. And last is our Docker compose. Cool.
you got the right version?
You want to build the,
I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Oh, you want me to build the Nginx Docker file?
that's what I was thinking. You admit it, unless you want to do the Docker file, the Docker compose, I imagine.
Docker build. We'll just try to build it. We have to like
You run it
download
too?
them anyway.
Actually, I'm not even gonna be able to. It's not running locally on mine. Yeah, so if I actually want to see it running, you have to do it. And you have to show us the browser doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely a crappy part. It'd be really cool if the terminals were independent. That's so wild.
So I can start a new terminal, but I don't have access to this code.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely a feature request, I would say. All right, so we built it successfully. We're gonna like run it all together in a second, so we'll see if anything breaks anyway. But I just want to take a look at this Docker compose file. Like, does anyone have any questions about this? Anything weird?
Oh, that's pretty straightforward.
All right, Tom, you want to explain it?
Well, it's just telling to run the version 3.7.
I think I dropped out. I converted to spaces or tabs, but YAML files actually can't do that with. So I guess I have to undo that. I'm exit it out.
Are you able to get back in?
I think so. It's joining right now.
Sweet.
Yeah, get back in. Yep, awesome.
Oh, you're green now. Nice.
Better color.
So this is just a version of the Docker file. Different versions do different things, so you can specify it. Here are all our services, which we can give names to. Our first service we're going to call app. And what it's going to do is build the Docker file that's in the app folder. That's all this is saying. So in this app folder, we have a Docker file.
Don't forget the ports.
And the ports, yeah, sure. And so that's going to build that Docker file. Then Nginx. Here we're going to build our Nginx Docker file, right? That's right here. This guy gives it a container name for some reason. I guess he just wants it to have a specific name. It's going to build it from the Nginx directory, like we said. We're going to map, for that container, we're going to map port 80 to our local port 80 as well. So that way, if we go to localhost port 80, we'll be able to, access or hit that endpoint, which will end up rendering our website. And the last thing is that it depends on app being up. So Docker does some cool stuff under the hood, where it just kind of knows what depends on what, and it'll always make sure that app is running if this is running. Even if that means throwing away a container and creating a new one. Cool. Anything we're missing?
No, I think we can move on to deploy, right?
Cool. So let's actually try to build this thing, right? We're going to say docker compose build detached scale of 2. And we're going to say that our app is going to be 2. Yeah, sorry, not scale of 2. We're going to say for our app service, we want 2 separate containers for that.
So that means he's building 2, right? Like 2 separate ones.
Yeah, so it's building a lot like that that image at the beginning,
right?
Where there's 2 separate containers running our website.
Perfect.
Oh, and it broke.
Oh shoot! What happened?
Didn't test it early enough.
I'm in the wrong directory. Yeah, we didn't test it enough. Oh shit! Really? Did I just forgot to write up? Docker compose up. I didn't write. Damn. All right, cool. Since we already built the containers, it happens pretty fast. Cool. So we got something running. Let's check it out. There's some handy dandy commands here.
Docker PS.
Yeah, so we can use this.
Yeah.
I don't really know what this names thing is. We'll check it out though.
I was reading. It's the name of the containers. I think that's going to be showing up.
Yeah, so PS command sends a bunch of shit, but
PS in Linux is a Linux command, and it means like process standard or something.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, look. So if you run PS in your terminal, you'll get something. So
yeah, Docker PS.
Thanks, Edwin.
Nice.
Cool. So we have these containers running. Yeah, let's bring up these logs real quick here in this container. Oh yeah, we gotta rename this. Okay, cool. So our debugger's active. I'm gonna go to localhost 3000. Or sorry, 80.
Just shared a server, localhost 5000, but you like to view in the browser.
Yeah, you can see your own browser. Yeah, in your own browser actually.
Oh, cool.
You got an error.
Oh, it's because we have to go to
/ping, yeah.
Can you guys see that in your browser or something?
I think you gotta rerun it so I can accept, and then you run here.
All right, no big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big
So
deal.
check it out. We refresh the page, and now we have a log that this container that we're inspecting, which is the first one that was spun up, it received this HTTP request. If I refresh this page, you'll notice that we did not get a new GET request. That's because the GET request went to app number 2.
Oh, that's why.
Cool. So another way of kind of doing this. Oh, that's super annoying. if we just like stack two terminal windows. I know there's probably a fancier way of doing this, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm surprised you're using the simple terminal.
Just get the
Oh yeah.
just download iTerm and then you can do
Yeah.
the fancy splitting.
Oh yeah, is that what it is? Yeah, I don't know. I never.
I turned 2, I think.
I'm like the kind of person who will then spend all day doing iTerminal shit and not like actual work.
Yeah.
The second I download that. So you see, as I refresh, our GET requests are getting distributed between two different Docker containers. So the one on the bottom will update container 1 and then container 2 as I refresh. So just pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the more I refresh it, we can literally see the load balancer in action. So it's genuinely really cool. Literally, if we wanted to then take this and build some app on top of it, Flask or not, we would actually have a basis for a relatively simple load balancer. To take a look at some like sample Nginx configuration files, like it seems to get pretty, maybe it's just a configuration file, but it can get pretty expensive.
Meaning confusing?
Yeah, I guess confusing too, but it just seems like there's a lot going on here. So there's a lot to learn about this like Nginx
Syntax?
to be able to use if you want a scalable application. I think that maybe my big question and like takeaway is that there must be a service that sits on top of this like Nginx thing, and instead of you having to put every single server that you're expecting to be spun up, it should be able to do that dynamically, where if you have an increased load to your website, so I guess that's what Kubernetes is doing.
Can you rebuild? I commented out server app, and I'm curious what it does.
Oh yeah, sure. Wait, let me do the Docker Compose. I might have to say down first, actually.
So you gotta do it down first, or not?
Yep.
Yeah. So that means it's deleting the Docker thing, or not?
That's
it throws away the containers. Oh, sorry.
I'll say it again.
It like threw away the containers.
Oh, throw away. Okay, cool.
More like shutting down the process.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was trying to ask. Sorry.
So yeah, Matt. Let's see. Yeah, seems like it's fine. Seems like it still works just fine. So I have
try one other thing.
Yep.
No idea.
Okay, can you rebuild?
Oh, actually, I'm gonna try my local.
It's broke. What'd you do?
Can you not go to ping?
He / ping after serve app.
Try again. You tried it 3 times?
Yeah.
Okay, what I thought it was that this was like referencing itself. And so that this was actually unnecessary because it was forwarding it to itself, which was then forwarding it to one of its upstream ones. But
Wait, I didn't get to look at the code. Could you show that again?
what I had was /ping, and what I was hoping that would do is just route it back to itself at /ping, and then that would in turn forward it to one of these, so you wouldn't have to do the /ping. So what I thought was we were naming 3 different places that we could forward it, we could forward it to Nginx CP1, Nginx CP2, or CG2, and then we could forward it back to ourselves. And so what I thought that adding the slash ping would do was would it forward it back to yourself, but with the slash ping attached to it.
Gotcha. And before we tried to just comment this out altogether,
And it worked.
and it worked. Huh. I wonder if the reason for that is that if we were to do a scale of 1, if we were to do a scale of 1, then maybe... Oh, this is still busted. I don't know why. Really interesting.
Wait, what?
Evan, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what?
I'm sorry if it's gonna sound stupid, but what is the point for you to do a scale of 1? Like, isn't that what this is built for? To build the same thing like in different, like, to multiply them like in a different service?
Yeah, no, that's totally the point. I guess I'm just trying to figure out if my theory was that if we only have a scale of 1, then we'd only need this server app. But that turns out not to be true, because down here in the terminal, we see that what actually gets created is Nginx CG app 1 and Nginx. So it still goes with that naming convention.
Oh, right.
Do you want to check the log for it?
What's up?
Do you want to check the log on the Nginx?
Yeah, I guess we'd have to go into the shell.
So if you compose it down, and then if you Docker compose up, but without the -d, it's not gonna do it in detached mode, so you'll always.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Down.
I need to get rid of that build next time. We haven't made any changes.
Nice. I'm gonna try it.
Host not found in upstream. Oh, so it doesn't, it won't just it won't handle that error, it'll actually just crash. Gotcha.
So you have to do scale up with it.
Yeah, if we have to, or if we comment out one of them. Yeah. Scale. And we'll rebuild it because we changed this file. Okay, cool. And it's even cool, we can actually see app 1 and 2 running at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
We should see each one do its thing.
What does your task manager say? Does it have each of the different containers?
That's a good question, actually.
What are you, in my actual, Windows Task Manager type thing?
No, yeah, Activity Monitor.
Does it know that these are different, does it just know there are a bunch of Python processes? Yeah, Windows Task Manager. What I'm wondering is, are these Docker containers reflected in your either Windows or your, this is not Windows, right? Is that,
Right.
Mac or something? Activity Monitor.
Yeah, that's for Mac.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find Docker.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either, earlier today.
It might just be wrapped in a single Python executable. I'm not sure how the operating system sees it.
No, not Python. It's wrapped in Docker.
And Docker?
Here, look, Docker Compose.
But
Mac at least has it under 1, but I feel like in Windows
It's all under Docker, but it doesn't know that there are a bunch of containers running different processes.
Docker, you can ask Docker to the PS thing, and then you get to see how the containers are running. But it's basically like a virtual machine inside Docker, the Docker app.
So it won't show then.
So it's gonna be, it's not as though it's like a native application, right? Because it's running in the Docker virtual machine.
Oh, gotcha.
And I think virtual machine is probably the wrong, but it's a similar concept.
Man, this thing is lagging my computer out. Docker. What was I looking for? Docker daemon we can read about. But yeah, I guess Lee, you could read about this stuff if that's what you're really into.
No, I remember the Docker virtual machine now.
I don't know how useful this is, but yeah, you can read about the daemon and everything. Yeah. All right, cool. So we built a load balancer.
It's okay. So there's not much need to use Nginx anymore because everybody now uses the AWS Elastic Load Balancer. Although I've heard of a hybrid combination of two could also be very useful. But what's very powerful about the AWS ELB or the Elastic Load Balancer is that you're able to set rules at the load balancer level to actually route your traffic to the ports. So try setting up some of the rules in the nginx.conf. So scroll all the way down to your in your nginx.conf file. Scroll all the way down. Yeah, so you see that server, that location /. So that's a pattern matching, right? So that every single time the URL it passes in, it's going to pass it into the HTTP app, and then it's going to send it to all your upstream apps that you've labeled there. So try setting up additional locations in here that will route to different, that will do different kinds of stuff that will route to different applications.
Interesting. So we would need to first add a couple other Flask routes.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
So yeah, so it's basically just using regex, I think. So it's going to look at, so try like matching, like if it has numbers or something, or like uppercase, like route it to another app with another thing.
Like, okay, gotcha. Like another app entirely, or just another part of the web page?
Try doing
like different web pages should be sent to different containers. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, you know what let's try doing? Let's try if there's an API prefix. You know how like api.github.com is to their API, whereas github.com is to GitHub?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't actually know how to start setting that up. Could you like show me?
Sure, let's figure this out. On prefix. You can set headers.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there's probably a ton of stuff.
URL rewrite. All it seems to be after this F. I don't see anything that lets me do it before it.
What is it called when it's before it?
What's before what?
I was like api.github. What's that API called? Subdomains? Nginx subdomains?
I don't know. Sorry.
Nice. Nginx subdomain reverse proxy. How to set up.
It's a real thing? Oh my god, nice.
Well, here's the article I just found and pasted.
Yeah, Discord that. Noise. Thank you, DigitalOcean.
Nginx reverse proxy.
This is a pretty cool use case, Matt.
Thank you.
Well, what's the end result of doing that? It become faster, like it's more reliable.
So you having a subdomain allows you to like very quickly know where requests should be going. So like go to api.github.com,
Uh-huh.
and so that is like their API. All you're getting back is JSON objects, right? And so whenever you want to like query their actual API, this you go through api.github.com. Whereas if you go through github.com, you actually see all the web app. And so literally what it allows you to do is think about these two things as two entirely separate apps and never worry about like what if you have the same path in API and the same path in GitHub. And more so, you might actually want to have the same path, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might api.com slash api.github. Well, what is github.com? Right, so github.com slash username is going to return my profile.
Right.
Whereas api.github.com slash username maybe returns, no, not found. But what you could do is you could then return the JSON object that corresponds to the username, right? And so you have the same, you're like a mirroring of the routes, but you have different objects returned based on the subject.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I think we'd actually need like SSL certs to do this, though. Can we like spoof them?
What do you mean by spoof?
Their API is not hard. You just need a developer token.
Evan, I don't know. Evan, what do you mean by spoof?
Like we don't have like a myapp.com to append anything to.
Okay.
Like we don't have like a myapp.com, so we can't say like, codingguild.myapp.com. I don't know if like codingguild.localhost works, but we have to like figure that part out.
Sorry, I don't think you do subdomains on localhost.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Oh, this is cool. Damn.
Well, so hold on. This is what I just solved it. Unfortunately, because localhost is not a proper domain, you can't add a subdomain to it like that. You can, however, trick your computer into thinking it owns a specific domain and test things that way. For instance, if you have a Unix-based operating system, open as root the file /etc/hosts and add a line or lines like this. And what that's going to do is forward those example.com or whatever to your local host.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to do this in Nginx.
I don't know about subdomains, but you could just try make another app and try to like add another location to route, like if it's ending like slash like Edwin or something, it's going to go to the Edwin app instead of going to the to your upstream app.
Oh.
So instead of making an additional routes in your original Flask app, just try to make another app and then given a new URL, it's still going to listen on port 80, right? Because that's the God traffic port.
Like we want to give Edwin his own website, is what you're saying?
Well, it's like you don't want to sometimes you want to segregate out you wouldn't want all your apps to be running on the same group, right? The same upstream group. So you could potentially have another group of apps that do something else. And then given like the /Edwin, it's going to the Nginx load balancer is going to route that traffic to just this group of apps, right? For whatever reason.
Gotcha. So I started a new Edwin app here. It's gonna be kind of the same thing. I forgot, how do we do this port thing? Port, is that an argument? Port equals, I guess let's use 8,000.
Yep.
And then we'll expose that port instead. What are we missing? Nginx will still do its thing. We need to add Edwin app to our Docker Compose. Okay, so we'll have Edwin app there. And now we need to do something with our nginx.conf.
Yeah. So I think it's like location slash something. Let me Google.
What do you want it to do?
You want to
Well,
add
just-
that app route to that file, ngx.conf.
Yeah.
So I think what you want to do is you want to do well,
Slash Edwin app.
Edwin.
Because we also need to add them up here.
I think that's going to work.
I
But-
don't think so.
No, but
This is going to do the round robin thing.
no, but you have to separate out the. I think you have to like the proxy passes has to be different and the upstream app has to be different.
I think there's a typo here.
So are you saying we should do like another upstream Edwin app?
I think so.
Edwin. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think this would work.
This is kind of interesting. Okay.
But you need that two upstream thing?
Maybe.
I don't know how to differentiate between these two. Like,
I know, like, just from like quick googling, I know.
Oh,
like,
yes,
you
you
could-
do need.
Definitely, you can have different locations, right? But the upstream. Let me just double check the upstream.
I'm changing Edwin app to.
should this be
let
like?
me differentiate.
this-
Never mind.
So this is the location that you're hitting the load balancer.
Okay, no, you definitely can have multiple upstream, right? Because that's why you're allowed to give the different upstream groups like different variable names.
So
I think
my
that should-
question though is, can I do like app slash ping here? So if I made this like, this is like localhost 80 slash ping,
yeah,
automatically route it to my app slash ping, and then here we can do slash Edwin.
Try it out.
Let me just make sure everything's down. Build skill app Edwin app equals 2. Anything else? I don't know if I can actually put those back to back, so we'll see.
You should be able to. Let me see if you can add it to the Docker Compose.
Oh yeah, you should.
No such
No such
service.
service Edwin app 2. Oh yeah, so that's why. So I need to do scale again. Yeah, please let me know if I can actually just add that to the Docker Compose.
Is there no way to set like a default scale instead of having to specify it per app?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what he's checking. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
if my hypothesis is correct, then like localhost 80 will do nothing. So we got a bunch of apps running. Localhost 80 does do nothing. Okay. So now if I do slash Edwin, it should take me to some slash Edwin route. Nah, it doesn't.
No, it
Oh wait,
doesn't.
Nginx exited, so we fucked something up. Host not found in upstream app.
Scroll all the way up. Something is wrong with your upstream app group.
Oh, line 3. Yeah. There we go.
Upstream app. Maybe it's because this didn't have Edwin app.
Yeah, try it out.
Yep, no.
No.
It's not
Post not.
Alright, I found a skill, I think.
Oh yeah, sick. What is it?
I'm gonna paste it. I'm not gonna add it until we get this running because I don't want to be working on 3 things at once.
Alright, that's fair. So we're trying to work out our Nginx configuration file. Let me make this a little bit bigger.
It's not able to find the thing in line 6.
Oh yeah, line 6. Server app. That's weird though. Did I mess around with the Docker Compose and not call it app?
Nginx depends on app.
Nginx depends on app. App, build app, Edwin app, build Edwin app, Nginx.
Depends on Edwin now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Alright, we could try that.
Recreating Nginx. No, it's not.
Nginx exit. Alright, we're doing 2 things. We're adding both the Edwin app and we're trying the routing thing. Let's remove one and see if we can get it working.
Wait, Nginx. Hold up. Look. Default.conf is not a file or does not exist.
Are you rebuilding it?
Yeah, I am. It's not a file. Default. Host not found.
I'm commenting out Edwin app.
Alright, cool. That's fair. Did you already get it in the Docker Compose?
I think the Docker Compose should be fine, but
Alright. Yeah, I'll leave it.
I think.
Oh, I left Edwin app in there.
That's fine. The scale, yeah.
Actually, it should be fine. Hey, who's echoing?
Tom.
Huh? Really?
You never believe it's Tom, but it's always
Get
you.
out of here with that echo, man.
Well, I don't have anything.
Oh, app.py is broken.
Is that really what it is?
I don't know if it is the thing, but there was you just had a decorator hanging.
Oh, no way.
Is
Cool,
the
thank
echoing
you.
pass, guys?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, cool.
Yo, work.
Oh, right. We
Yeah.
got life.
Slice ping.
Alright.
You want to check out slice ping?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Nice. So /ping does trigger that. So wait, let's kill this and get all the Edwin shit back, because that'll make it exciting.
Does everyone understand why that still worked? What happened in line 20 and 22? So basically, instead of doing slash and routing it to the slash endpoint, we did /ping and routed it to the /ping endpoint. So if we did something like this, we would have to do /ping.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think in terms of like a RESTful interface, you wouldn't want to do too much stuff in this load balancer rules set. But I think, like, for example, let's say like you're managing legacy, you're managing multiple legacy servers, right? And then you actually do need to route, depending on the URL, to a different group of application, a group of different servers. And then I think that this would come very much in handy. But also, I think it would come in handy in a modern architecture too, because sometimes you just need to route, depending on the URL, to a different set of servers that isn't your main server group.
All right, so our ping works. So now if we do Edwin,
Beautiful.
Nice.
causes the Edwin app to fire. And then if we have no route, we're just gonna get a 404. Sweet.
That's awesome.
So that's the by the process of induction. That basically is all the. Now that you're going to create multiple locations, rules, and application groups, I think this is it.
Yeah.
Or we can come up with more bullshit to try.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next, well, I don't know what you guys have planned next for this, but you guys should also try planning of setting a RabbitMQ service to talk between the Edwin app and the original app, and then try seeing that, and then also try deploying it on like AWS or something, or Heroku.
Before we get into deploying it, I'd be more interested in like, how would we test that our multiple instances, like our multiple containers, are actually like balancing loads?
Right?
So if the point is just building a load balancer for the day, we haven't really tested like, we were manually viewing those logs.
Oh, you want like an actual test to actually test the logs?
Either logs or like I don't know. I don't know how to test. There's like what we did is we manually looked at the logs logs or whatever. Like how do we do that without manually watching them? Like what if one of the containers was getting 3 times as much traffic as the others because we had like a bunch of complicated code set up and messed something up? How do we test that, reasonable load balancing is happening?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So naturally we're gonna have to be sending a few requests, right? So the test is gonna look something like a bunch of curl requests. Curl localhost / ping, do 2 of them, and maybe pipe it into like some test output, txt. And so now what I want to do is add something based on which. Tom, you're still echoing.
Really?
Yep. Based on.
It's better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry.
All right, so that test file is meaningless right now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, I'm going to separate out the 2 servers, and hopefully what I can do is add headers to the messages, and we can see different headers based on you go into the different route.
Oh, okay.
HTTP :
I'll be right back, guys. Gonna go to the bathroom.
Edwin, what are you working on?
I need to just finish this work thing because I'm taking most of next week off. So.
Oh, nice.
There you
Good
go.
for you.
I'm gonna go camping in New Hampshire with some friends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, you want to try running it?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's probably going to break, but ideally nothing changes.
Looks okay. So what am I trying to navigate to?
Go to ping again and make sure ping works.
Ah. Thing did not work.
Was there logs? There's no logs. Interesting.
Maybe if I just go to localhost. No.
Can you try again? I removed the server app.
Well, is there any reason why you have the proxy paths inside the upstream app?
So I'm trying to separate them there. So the way I imagine the round robin thing works is that's where it decides which one to do, but that's probably a wrong understanding of it.
Yeah, I think the proxy paths are only for the
Oh,
location.
Nginx exit. So let's see if we can find it. Unexpected curly bracket. Line 16.
Colon?
Curly bracket.
Yeah, that's it. Nice. Is there anything else you want to add back in before we started?
Mm-hmm. All right, server app.
Alright, cool. Save that guy.
Do we not have auto save on?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever configured that. It's not on by default.
Let me find it. I'll get it in the settings.
Ping, Nginx exited again. Proxy pass directive is not allowed here. That's a funny error. What the heck?
Where'd you see the error?
Yeah, but don't delete lines 15 and 16. It's just not allowed.
Oh.
You have to put it in the location.
All right, let's go back to it. I can't undo. All right, let's undo.
Yeah, I don't think this is like a recursive kind of deal. I think
No.
it's an if then, that's it. If location is then, they'll pass it along there, and then that's it.
But I could do it here, I think. Let's see. P colon / server 1. Server 2. Server.
Man, I want some dessert.
What was server when I wanted to do it? The app was just server / app, right?
Yeah.
And I'll do it.
Alright, so the idea now is that you send a ping. Let's get rid of this. I don't want this anymore. So you send to the slash endpoint, the slash gets forwarded to the app. Tom, do you mind muting yourself?
Mute? Yeah, sure.
Oh, Tom, I muted you. I'm sorry. I had to with the echo.
Thank you. It goes to app. This goes round robin to the 2 different servers that we defined. One of them comes back up here and then forwards it to the upstream. Alright, you want to try it?
Alright, let's do it.
Tom, I'm meeting you.
I feel so bad. Tom, you gotta figure that out.
That's funny. I don't have anything here.
Get one of those like cool Blue Yeti microphones or something.
No, if I do
Yeah,
micro.
Nginx broke. Invalid host. In
Slash
app.
maybe the slash stand. Try again.
You put a slash at the end.
Yeah, well, so before this is how it was. Add a slash.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might actually
No,
help
I'm
me.
also missing colons.
Sit down.
Okay, that seems to be it.
Yeah, I need a VS Code Nginx configuration file linter.
Right.
No,
Nginx
broke
exited
again.
Yeah.
Line 7. It's just saying this isn't allowed, dude.
What was it? So I think I screwed up adding, or when I added this bit in. Oh no, this was, this is wrong. This is nginx underscore cg underscore app colon 5000, right?
Yes.
Alright.
Well, wait. Oh, so you remove both of those? This has to be app underscore 1 5000. Is that what you're
Oh,
thinking?
you're right. Yep, that's what I was thinking.
And so that one's 2. Okay.
Did you type that or did I?
I did the top one. I think you did the bottom one.
Okay. That's like the problem with doing this is you end up being like, oh, I'll just do it. And then I don't do it all the time.
So I guess what I'm kind of confused about then is this still has this like server Edwin app thing.
But we're not going to this route. This is the Edwin side of things.
I know, but like, do we need to do server app or something like that?
I mean, it doesn't seem to change things before, but yeah, we can do it.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I forgot that it didn't actually do anything. Forget about it.
Yeah, and I'm like of the opinion that if you don't know why code should be there, then don't put it until you figure out why it needs to be there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. All right, let's try it. Saved.
Same error.
Invalid host and upstream. Now line 15. This is how you do DevOps, everybody.
Nginx forward. Mm-hmm. Alright, well, there's an article for how to test your Nginx rewrite rules.
You hear that, Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, when I say testing, it could also be phrased as like, how do we act like software engineers while we're doing DevOps, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
I assume is still your goal in all of your jobs is how do you act like a software engineer while you do it, right? Or how do you feel like a software engineer? I don't know, one of the two.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, we have our Edwin app and we have our app. Alright, cool. I don't know if it's worth going deeper down the rabbit hole of trying to test the load balancer.
I found a way that creates log files.
I feel like Nginx is like some tested software system. are you going to build more tests on top of that, or do you build tests to make sure that you're logically doing what you think Nginx is doing? I think that's like what we're going
No,
for.
it's not trying to test Nginx. It's trying to test, like, is my configuration doing, you know, our tests don't need to be that exhaustive. It's just like, did we set the thing up that we think we set up?
Right.
Didn't we, when we did Docker like a year ago, didn't we have like this nice fancy UI where you could see like the containers that were being spun up and what the load was on each of those containers? I think it's like offered by Docker.
What, really? Is that Docker Hub?
I think that may be part of Docker Swarm. Yeah, I think that was part of Docker Swarm. So that's basically. Can monitor, and I'm sure they have like you can have alerts and all that fun stuff.
Alright, I'm on.
Oh, that's cool. So you're able to visualize them?
Yeah, you can visualize them on like a local host, like web on some URL, and you're able to see all your containers that are running and which ones are being spun up, and also the load on each of them. I forget what. I think it's part of Docker Swarm though. I don't think it's natively part of Docker.
Yeah, you're right. Anyways, it was for.
If you're going to implement Docker Swarm, you might as well just do Kubernetes at that. Yeah, that's the one, Docker Swarm Visualizer. But at that point, like you would rather just use Kubernetes instead of Docker Swarm, unless it's like just like a fun project.
Yeah, I guess I don't even really know what the difference is between those two, but
they serve the same purpose. They're both orchestrators for containers. So there's like configurations for how your containers should talk to each other.
So like I don't know. Next week we can do a Kubernetes, really simple Kubernetes thing. Do you want to do that?
So with Kubernetes, I use Argo. What's the Docker version of like Argo for like profiling and like managing and like inspecting stuff?
I've only heard of Argo for Kubernetes, which uses Docker. So isn't that kind of makes it the same thing? Do you mean for like single containers or something? That is maybe then what Edwin was talking about. Isn't Argo like? Doesn't Argo like a CI/CD tool for Kubernetes?
Yeah, but it also has like really nice command line interface. I wasn't sure if
Oh,
it
it
was
does.
a version
That's
like
cool.
yeah, it has like
cool UI.
kube cuddle.
What'd you say?
It has like you have like a nice command line interface called kube cuddle. I was wondering if Docker has something similar.
Is that Argo or is that just a Kubernetes thing?
Shit. Yeah, sorry. You have also command line interface to Argo.
Oh, that's interesting because I've only ever seen it really built into GitHub. I guess
Argo
like
looks like
the job set for
Airflow.
using Argo.
But no, it looks good. It like now that if you have multiple microservices running, you're able to route depending on the URL to these different microservices. So yeah, it looks like a win. The hard part is the message broker and then the deployment. Those two are hard. But yeah, this load balancer looks pretty good to me.
Evan, do you mind running it again?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Wait, do we need to do the deployment immediately? I thought the point of this was building towards like we can stay local and just simulate like how do you build all these distributed system things that are required for like the interview questions, right? So I'm not interviewing right now, but I keep on hearing people that are. Everyone's copying Facebook's stupid distributed systems interview questions. And those are asking you things like you have to be comfortable talking about things like distributed message queue, distributed cache, stuff like that. So I thought we were building something like that. I thought like we don't need to jump into deployment. We can focus on engineering instead. Possible.
Matt, it looks like it works.
It works, but I don't see an output. files.
I don't know what this is supposed to do.
So what I'm trying to do is this online 23. It creates a log file. Actually, can you ls that file? See if it is good.
Yeah. Wait. This is going to be in the Docker container, though, right? I think so.
See what that article I posted in says. But we should go back to the lead point in a second about like what we want out of this and what or like talk about that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how this works. Docker exec, and then the.
I don't think you have to. I think it's fine. It's gonna be fine locally.
Really? There's just like no way. Or oh god, I don't want to cat that. Yeah, I guess
Alright, you're right.
doesn't exist. So wait, we can do this. How to enter Docker container shell. Docker exec IT container name. Okay. Docker exec -it next bin bash. I got core in here. So let's see what this looks like. Cool, we have some logs.
Run it one more time and let's compare the two things. Or like go to that URL one more time.
Yeah, let's just like refresh this like a bunch of times. Cool, we got a bunch of ping gets. I don't know what this internal IP mapping is, but there definitely
Is there two?
there's two different ones. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, so we have somewhat that we could get it going.
Yeah, this must be like the internal like Docker. I don't know if they assign IP addresses to each container. Docker Compose like automatically builds a network for you, which is really cool. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening. Fucking magic, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, so we could write a test to that, pipe it out to some other file, and then test the file.
Yeah, I mean, you could even just like write a basic thing. You could probably do a bunch of counts on this file and make sure the counts are like approximately equal and one isn't getting overburdened.
Cool. Lee, do you want to bring up your point again?
It's just about next steps after we've now built this. It's just like, what do we want to build for, like, what is there? There's like 6 or 7 of us. Like, what do we want to build for our own learning? I mean, like, if it's about, like, if we actually go through the sort of, like, hassle of, like, deploying on AWS or something, like, I'm not sure which of us is really benefiting from that as much. I thought we would benefit more from, like, the other stuff.
Well, like, do you want to go full steam ahead and actually try to just like copy some existing service like Instagram, like Facebook? Do you want to just like try to build our own?
Well, yeah, build our own.
Right. But what I'm saying is like we can get really bogged down by like what the idea itself is.
No.
In order to just not do that, we just like blatantly copy.
Sure, we can blatantly copy. Like, we don't need to get all the details perfectly. It's just like, how do you handle web traffic for these types of applications, right? Like, let's say we had a distributed system. Like for instance, how would you actually build a distributed cache, right?
Okay.
You just have a database.
So we can do a distributed cache next week. Would you want to do that? I'll do that. I need to know how it works.
like in a lot of applications, it's not that simple as just using a database, right, Matt?
I think it's a fancy term for a database.
Um,
It's
Let's
both.
find out.
No, it's both. You're running a server that you're running multiple servers and you're calling it a distributed, and then you group them all together and you call it a distributed cache. If the servers are the ones that they're not as like heavyweight as an actual server dedicated to databases, so it's a hybrid of both.
yeah.
Yeah, here's a good illustration. There are some caches in the middle that are communicating with the database, but the caches themselves are distributed while the databases themselves are also distributed.
Well, so the way I've done it at my last job is we just took a Redis database, which is the key value store, and we had like a very expensive operation that we wanted to cache in Redis, and so like up until you like timestamp the record, and so if the timestamp of the record was in the last hour, you'd return that value. If it's not, you require it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we could we could emulate or simulate that kind of thing using like a similar little, I guess like Docker Compose tutorial. I'm sure something like that exists just to get that step done. And then I wonder, we don't have an app to tie it into yet. Does anyone have any ideas for like a stupid app that we could?
What's wrong with your app for now?
I don't have an app.
What app.py?
Well, it's not really. I guess we could try to catch some data from it, but it doesn't really have any data to catch. But we'll figure that out.
We'll factorialize some numbers. That'll be the route, and then we can cast the values.
I think if we start with something more complicated, we might get bogged down with like trying to understand the complicated things. If we like down, start with something so
Okay, so we can build a distributed cache next Wednesday, and we'll have it. Should we use? We'll use Docker to have a bunch of them. And
Yep.
then I'm trying to think how we could tie it to this. So we'll tie it to this in that we'll still keep these Edwin apps and the regular app, and then we'll implement the distributed cache just as a separate part of the Docker Compose, and we'll have Edwin app talking to those Redis apps that have been spun up.
Do we want both the app and the Edwin app?
Yeah, you want to prove out the case that for microservices, right? You want to have multiple services running at the same time. So
but that doesn't necessarily mean so you could do it with just multiple instances of app.py.
but
Yeah, like we don't need to have the Edwin app,
but it's just like by induction, right? You can prove the case for tier, you can prove the case for as many different types of apps. Just because you have multiple Docker instances of the same application doesn't mean let's say that Edwin app is like a Node.js app, and then having it talk to the Flask app, that's very powerful.
well, they're not really talking to each other. Nginx just routing them.
No, but eventually you want to build a message broker, right?
Okay. So is a distributed cache a message broker? I don't think so, right?
It can be used as a message broker. Like Redis can be used as a message broker, but I believe we would use both RabbitMQ and Redis for different things. So they're different tools for different jobs. But I have heard through the grapevine that you can use Redis for some kind of message brokering, but I've never done
That doesn't seem like what you should be using Redis for.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what is message brokering? Fuck.
So message broker is so it's like running RabbitMQ or Celery so that you would have each of your microservices execute events, and these events or messages would be sent to the message queue, and then other microservices can process them. I think like last year when I was like when Lee and I were going through Docker, like I built like I built like a Go microservice and a Flask microservice, and I had a RabbitMQ broker talk between them. Like they try to dig that repo up.
This is for RabbitMQ is for processing tasks asynchronously, or where it makes sense to decouple your application from another application or service.
Definitely.
So we'll just build two independent applications. They can be two independent Flask apps. We don't need to do a Go app, even though I'm sure that was fun. And we could just have them send some data to each other. But I guess at that point it doesn't make any sense to me because why can't we just use like an API or something? I don't understand.
Well, no, because APIs are synchronous. Remember.
Okay.
How would you call the API? Like, would you just have one application like call it synchronously to another application, or would you rather have each of the applications decoupled and send messages as they receive them, right? But that would be the way to do it. That's why you need a message broker.
So I think this really goes to the point of like, what are you building? And I think this kind of brings up the trouble of like, if you don't have like a well-defined business goal, like just building engineering for the sake of building engineering is going to lead to like ill-defined goals.
Okay, I think we should build Instagram from scratch. So so Instagram from scratch. So what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to allow like lots of users post stuff real time and a massive data store that's indexable for like the massive amount of data, but quickly retrievable for like the highly requested recent information, and like every user is able to query for what's relevant to them. So for instance, like if users are querying for these massive image files, you can't have a single like a single server somewhere on the globe hosting those. So we need to be able to handle that there's like multiple local servers returning like local results, and then they're asynchronously, or they're they also have a process to synchronize with each other. So that's the business goal. Build Instagram.
No, that's good.
So I'm kind of for that. I think I posted another tutorial about building Instagram using like TypeScript, a bunch of other stuff. And I was starting to like take a look at that and maybe consider going through it just because I'm looking for something to make me excited lately, which I was like, let me try to write some JavaScript. I thought that was fun when I used to do that. And there's a ton of stuff sitting there on like the front end and whatnot. Like, I think trying to worry about hooking all those things up is going to be even more confusing than not having some like concrete end goal. Like, I'd rather just like build each of these services in isolation and think about how we could tie them together. And even if it is like useless and stupid, we can also say that we like did it in a nutshell. And you at least have some idea of how these things are working. Like, to actually try to rebuild Instagram
I'm
going to take us way more time.
Evan, I'm just saying we're building, like, our design choices when we build the distributed cache or whatever, the message queue or something, our design choices are based on building Instagram. I'm not saying we have to, like, launch a web app and an iOS app. You don't need to download whatever the iOS calls their newest version of Xcode.
Right. Okay.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. I think one big question is, do we want all these things to build off of one another, or do we want them to be relatively independent? And I think Lee's pushing the like, we want things to like build and gradually get to something bigger. And I don't know if Evan, you're thinking the other way, or how are you thinking of those two things?
No, I'm for tying what we did tonight into more apps. Like, so we'll have those apps, and then we'll try to either expand that app or build the message broker portion of this system, and then build on the apps later and have them tie into that.
Did you guys see the list?
I'm for like trying to build something from this point. I just don't care if it is actually something that needs to be actually hosted on the web. I'm mostly just interested in learning about the systems.
Well, but it's like, I think you both like bring up good points. But like, I do think that the
Wait, both. You know, we're saying the same thing, right?
yeah, it is basically the same thing, but the deployment piece like is somewhat essential, especially because like deploying it on AWS is like somewhat like it is not like a trivial thing to learn how to do well. So I would say like I do think there should be a general.
Let's do that later.
Yes,
Is that okay?
Yeah,
I sort of agree. I hate deployments. I've wasted like days on that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the deployment part is going to be hard. Like, it's going to be, as simple as just like configuring it with whatever AWS uses that plugs into Docker Compose. Like, I think that stuff is actually easy. And I don't even want to like kind of get hung up on that. Like AWS has these like ECR, like they have some Kubernetes tool, like they have a bunch of this stuff that's like plug and play already. I don't know if even like getting it out there is that important, and it costs us money.
Well, yeah, that's the thing because I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, don't need it.
It's easy when you consider it at the very beginning. It's harder if you neglect best practices at the beginning.
Right. I understand, and yeah, I totally think so. And I think also when we get to that point, like that's when we're gonna do like the Ansible, like that you've been talking about.
Yeah, the Terraform and the Ansible. Yeah, it's like you want to go like as cloud first as quickly as possible. But I'm not donating any money. I'm broke. Okay, so.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if we want to realistically do Ansible, like, we need to have a couple EC2s that we can just like deploy random Ansible shit to.
Yep.
So I think that's like definitely for later once we get these microservices down locally.
Yeah.
IMO.
The distributed cache is interesting in terms of. I think that's what we should target for next week. I already did the message queue like last year, so I can share that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's cool, and I know you're into the Ansible thing, so if you want to like jump into that, I honestly I wanted to learn it too, and I looked into doing like a short lesson, like basically like a getting started, but it's like, yeah, you just need to like be willing to have some AWS resources to like make it worthwhile.
No, you need to pay to play. Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's like one of those things where I don't really care if I'm not like I would just have to pick it up at work or something.
Yeah, well, it's hard to pick it up at work too because like even you're paying at work and eyes are on it.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why it's like something that I want to learn more about in terms of the infrastructure as code. But yeah, I mean, let's just do the distributed cache next week, and I can also do a little bit of Lua next week as well.
Oh, okay, that sounds sick.
Well, depending on how my vacation goes.
Vacation? What vacation?
Yeah, don't worry about the Lua. Enjoy your vacation, man.
No, but like it's like I'll be back like by the time like Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Where are you going?
I'm going to New Hampshire.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to go there? I don't know.
Well, I'm just camping out, backpacking with a good friend and his family.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm like the black sheep of their family.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Cool, man. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, enjoy, Edwin.
Yep. But yeah, so let's do the distributed cache. And also let's also play around with the the volumes, the database. Let's set up a database in Docker as well.
All right. Put that in our good old README here.
Yeah, let's make a to-do.
To do.
What is
So distributed cache, and set up a database.
And do you want to create a repository for that? Evan?
Set up Docker volumes is really what it is, right?
Yep. You have to set up the volume.
Data disk.
Oh no! What? We don't want to do volumes. That's so easy. We want to do a database.
Well,
Like
no,
a
you have to
Docker Mongo D3.
you have to persist the data, right?
Like, I don't know. I usually think of Docker volumes as like what you're writing to your local machine or something. Like you want to write to some like external thing.
No, it's writing locally, right? But what you do is like you'll run a Docker command. It's like Docker run. Is it Docker run? Yeah, Docker run PostgreSQL, right? Right, and 4.6.7.9, right? But whenever this image breaks, or whenever you take this image down, all the memory is wiped. And what you do with the volume is you write it locally on your computer so that if you can take the image down and up, and it'll still have all the data in it.
Right, but if come to the Docker compose file with me.
Sure.
I think this is as simple as saying like volumes, or something like this. I forget exactly what it is. I think it's just
Specify where the volume
volumes.
is.
And then you could say just like, slash etc data is same as slash data on the machine. Like I think it's literally that easy.
It should be easy. I know Lee and I did it like a year ago. We just set up like some partitions and volumes. I've completely forgotten the.
Yeah, Pepsi. Every Friday.
Yeah, like okay, here. So like this is an example. It's pretty much exactly that. It's just volumes, and then you point one folder to the other.
Evan,
So, I
are
mean,
you
it's not that bad.
sharing?
No, I stopped.
He's writing in the Docker compose.
Okay, never mind.
I'll screen
Yeah, I
share.
thought you were talking as if you were screen
Well, he's in the Docker compose file. I literally am watching him.
Well, we're code sharing. So yeah.
Oh, I wasn't watching that anymore.
So I streamed just in case.
Cool. Yeah, that looks about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's like a one-line change. Like maybe we should spin up a database as well and like write something to it maybe.
Like a local one or on the web?
Like a Docker one. We'll just add it to our Docker compose file. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's literally like another 2 or 3 lines.
oh Tom, I have you muted. I'm sorry.
Oh Jesus!
Sorry.
I was
Yeah,
talking.
it's only another 2 or 3 lines, but like, why not do it? Like, I think Evan's saying let's be more ambitious on what we do each week.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess this was some kind of like this was a good like start. Like, this is some low hanging fruit. I don't know. It's just kind of we can definitely do a lot coding like 5 people at a time. But it's also super hard. But as long as we like pick these big ideas and at least like talk about it and get through it, I'm satisfied.
Your preferred SQL database is MySQL.
No, absolutely not. I just copied that from the web.
Okay.
I'm probably more comfortable with Postgres.
It's all the same shit, right?
It is the same shit.
Except one is free.
Except we're trying to port stuff from like MySQL to Snowflake, and just like there's so many little things that are just like annoying. It's like, why do different SQLs need to exist?
Because some companies need to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's do the. Well, I can postpone the Lua scripting because it seems like this is gonna take like the full meeting. So let's just work on the distributed cache next week.
All right, cool.
Okay.
In the to-do.
Can you create a GitHub repo with this?
Yeah. Do we need this test.shell thing? Do we want to
No, that was a bullshit thing. But
And please
You
use
can keep
branches.
no, it doesn't go.
sorry, I keep burping. Quesadillas.
I need to get some pizza tonight.
I will make a new repository. I'm gonna make it private. I'm still gonna call it NGINX just so we don't like, I don't know, so we don't mix it up.
Sure. I'm building a Chrome app, Chrome extension.
Oh really?
Yeah. But ultimately, it's just a different way to deploy a web app. You just zip it up in a certain way. So there's like npm packages, or there's packages that'll like zip up your web app in a specific way, and that's all you have to do.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you have like a manifest file that will specify it. But otherwise, it's basically.
We need a .git ignore.
Yeah, so that.
Hello.
Are we both writing it?
Yeah. I thought it'd be helpful. Literally, like, the worst part of this is you need one person driving, otherwise, like, it's just the stupidest thing ever.
Alright, cool.
Don't add the VS Code. VS Code is a good one.
Oh, do you want that? Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I never collaborate with people that actually use VS Code, so it's just like a habit.
I think it's very good. Because, like, oftentimes you'll have, like, settings for a repository, like your indentation and shit like that. And so having all of that be the same way so that your VS Code automatically puts it in whatever the repository wants is very good.
Awesome. We're using tons of pre-commit stuff, which I'm not a huge fan of, but
Pre-commit hooks?
yeah,
Like
auto,
run requests?
like automated. We actually don't. We have some tests in the cloud, so we don't really do that locally. But what was I gonna say? I don't know. We use like things like Black and iSort to like automatically format your code, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Tom, you're unmuted.
Sorry, Tom. I'll mute you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. If you echo again, that's it. You're going to the doghouse.
Oh.
Time out.
Who said that?
What?
Oh, never mind. You were talking about your formatting tools. Black.
Yeah. I don't know. We just use Black and iSort. It just automatically like sorts your imports in Python, and it also. Tom, I'm muting you.
You're mean, man. Damn.
It's hard to speak and have a
can't talk.
I didn't say anything.
And, Black just automatically formats your code for you. Like it'll add indentations and like Python has rules about how much you can write on one line. It'll automatically format that. It's probably a net positive. It's just that you have to just like add and commit things once. I'd rather just like fix stuff as I go along. All right, how do I invite you guys to do this?
You gotta go to GitHub and then on settings.
Let's actually do the Instagram clone idea. So each of us can do like a microservice. And like, I don't know, it just seems like an interesting project. Or maybe like a Google clone or something. Just like, let's just have like an ambitious idea. It doesn't have to go all the way, but let's just have like a unifying theme.
I like
Right,
it,
right.
but I don't want to be breaking up the work. I don't want to be like, you do this, I do that, because then it just feels like work all over again.
That's true. That's true. Like, I'll probably be working on this gaming mini game. I'll probably be working on a mini game instead of working on. I'll be like, can you slap this mini game inside this app? That's true. Yeah.
Matt, what's your GitHub username?
WOJM.
Oh, watch them.
But yeah, like I can slot like a little mini game, and then you guys can work with little microservices, and we can have them talk to each other.
Wojo Matt, are you?
WOJM.
WOJ. Oh, no, second no.
We're not going to support mini games for at least a couple years.
But that's the one I want to work on.
I mean, we can try creating a server for your video game that you're making.
Now that would be interesting. Like having the web, like there's a huge connection to the online application by Rockstar Games. So that's very interesting how they're connecting the game engine to all the multiplayer online web apps and stuff they use.
Right. Tom, what's your GitHub username?
It's TL 212.
Yeah. TL22.
No, 212.
212. Nice. Thank you. All right, I added all you guys, I think. Ryan, I don't know if you're still there, but I can add you as well if you have a GitHub account.
Yeah, it's Ryan M. No spaces dash DS.
Yeah.
Oh, all of these were in the live share,
Oh, really?
I think.
Oh, were they?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you're right. Nice.
Oh, and there's a chat room.
I don't know why we need a shared terminal. It's annoying. All right, I'm probably gonna end the live session.
Yeah.
Oh, Evan, can I either stick around here with you or call you to ask about a data engineering question I had?
All right, yeah, let's just talk about it here.
Okay. So, my coworker, so, you know, did I tell you that I was doing that logging thing?
Yeah,
So
you said you
it
want
turned
your
out that it's not me that's going to handle logging. It's going to be one of my coworkers.
Oh, okay.
But I have to build the logging, like the log processor. So I have to build the pipes that sort of, you know, on a user query, they pull the logs down and sort of organize them. And so I have to define, like, okay, how should this look? Like, what should the structure of the logs be? Should the processing be done? The main question I had is, like, where does the processing live? Like, is there some like S3 system where they make it easy to like process and organize and like compute stuff on their weird logs, or do you just pull down the raw log files and then do the processing locally?
I think there are ways to query like an S3 bucket directly. I think Amazon has some tools for this, maybe Athena. I haven't actually used it though.
Let me think. Athena. Yeah, I think Athena is. Yeah, Athena is like their. Isn't it something like similar to SQL? Like that's where we put our data. I thought that's like our data warehouse. Is that not correct?
I don't know. Is Athena is your data warehouse really?
I don't know. I just know that I can log into Amazon Athena and I can run SQL-like queries.
Oh, okay. So yeah, is that what you want to plug into then? Is that
No. Because it's not going to be a database. These are like just random crappy log files. And they're just going to be like, probably like JSON structured, and it might be the case where it's like there's a bunch of files and I need to sort of concatenate them and then compute some basic stuff on them. So I was wondering,
across the entire history or just recent ones?
Across, filtered, filtered for a specific user, and then probably across the entire history. Either way.
It kind of sounds like you want to just like put this stuff into a database to query it. You just want to query like raw text files directly.
No, well, yeah, it's not going to be. We're not writing to a database for now, at least. We're just going to be like dumping raw data files because we don't like. Why did we
look
choose
into
that?
Amazon Kinesis, and I think that might be the tool you're looking for. Yeah, basically it's part of a series of tools that it just logs about the data and perform a subset of SQL queries on.
But even then, it expects your data to be stored in S3. Is it stored locally or not?
No, it's stored. So the data is stored in S3, right? So I'm assuming that the guy that's building logging is storing these like JSON files in S3 that have, he hasn't built it yet, so I can tell him whatever I need stored there. And then the idea is I have to decide where so assuming there's like, an S3 folder that has a bunch of log files, and I want to compute, for, a specific subset of that data, like compute these statistics about like fancy machine learning statistics about what happens. And so I'm wondering, like, do I pull down the raw files and then compute the statistics I want? Or is there a way in Amazon where I, like, pull down the files, but Amazon, like, concatenates them and organizes them for me?
So that sounds exactly like what Amazon Athena does, which is what you guys seem to have set up already. Like, why do you?
That was for a different thing.
Use
Amazon Athena is like a SQL structured database.
But that's exactly what you want to do. Is you want to query stuff.
No. It's like JSON, but the data could be like the. So the problem with using a database for this, like we need like a data lake. I think that's why we're using S3, right? It's just like a dumpster.
But what I'm saying is Athena is querying your data lake. It's querying the dumpster and making sense of it for you on the fly. Like, it's not actually stored that way.
Oh, okay. Is that what Athena does? I don't know.
That's what I mean. Literally, just from reading the docs, it's what it looks like. I don't use it, but it says it can also query JSON. So I think you're good.
Okay, so I should set up using Athena to grab my log data, and then I should do all the processing from there. So he just needs to set up the logs in a way that I can query them using Athena. That's what I should tell him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
I don't know what the restrictions are on, usually Amazon has lots of like configuration requirements, like AWS, right? So he needs to set them up in a way that I can go using Athena.
Soon we're all just going to be AWS admins. That's like the modern software engineer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's kind of scary though. Like,
is it?
Is Google Cloud any better, or is it?
No, it's crap. It's just, Azure.
What?
Azure and Google
In
Cloud.
what world, Edwin? Go,
It's like
go.
the same thing, man. It's not better or worse.
No, but it's behind AWS by a long mile. AWS is the pioneer.
I mean, yeah, they are.
Look at how many people they're losing to GCP. GCP is like expanding like crazy.
I think Google keeps offering sweet deals or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. A lot of people are converting. Tom, I'm sorry. I'll unmute you.
I was talking.
So, like, my company might switch to GCP, but that has nothing to do with their product, and it has to do with, like,
Money.
some retailers are, like, afraid of Amazon, and so...
Tom, I needed to mute you again. I'm so
No,
sorry,
thank you.
dude.
Thank you. Awesome.
Using AWS could, like, hurt us when we're talking to some clients, just because, like, they have Amazon in their name.
I don't
So,
know.
like,
There are a lot of people
it might be, like, a stupid reason, but people switching to GCP might not. So that like we're serious about switching. And it's the stupidest possible reason.
So Lee, for this project, I would definitely look into Amazon Kinesis because it's built around highly distributed like logs or logged events, and then being able to query them. I don't know what the difference is with Athena. It sounds like Athena is going to be around like you already have the files in S3, and so you're like there's going to be like a big lag if you're trying to query up to the most recent data. And Amazon Kinesis is like literally it ingests it and allows you to query on things up to 10 minutes. Up to like 10 minutes ago is their horizon.
Like I'm not trying to run any fancy queries though. I'm probably
Why
just
would there
trying
be
to
a
like
lag, though?
pull data.
He just wants a folder where he can place all his logs in. That's it. That's it.
But I want to do like good engineering stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to do compute on the server, then I want to do that. I'm not a professional data engineer. I don't know like what the standard in this space.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, data engineering is so boring. Let's just work on some video games. Forget about the web.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just work on video games.
Yeah, Lee, I don't think there is like an established best whatever. If I've learned anything, it's that everything's a mess.
Data engineering especially.
No, everything. Especially
There's such a thing
machine
as good
learning.
engineering practices. There's definitely such a thing as good
Machine learning is probably the
practices.
biggest mess that there is.
No, you have a point. Like, I'm surprised if like I go to YouTube on my Mac and then I go to YouTube on my phone and it still picks up from the same location. Now I think that's like a big innovation because you never expect these things to work at all. But wow, I can watch.
That's the funniest thing. It's like when you're not in software engineering, you're like, oh, it's obvious that these things would work. And then you're like, holy shit, they actually did it,
Yeah, it's like.
But it's not like it's so impressive. It's like usually they just suck, right? Is that what you're getting at?
Like, no,
Tom, I
because,
unmuted you.
Right?
because most things are just broken. Yeah, most things are just broken. So I'm just surprised when I just go to a different device and I can still watch YouTube and pick up where I left off. I'm like very surprised by that. It's just that things usually are just broken. So that's my little spiel on being surprised that things are working.
Maybe we need to build that for Edwin.
Just like have a video retention or something like that's like to me that's very impressive and it just works. But yeah, forget about data engineering or web or AI or crypto. Let's just focus on video games.
None of us are excited about video games right now, though.